Good evening, this is BJ Marshall with The Blind Stealing the Blinds, doing some flop texture work with a new tool that I just created in Google Sheets. I want to spend a few minutes talking about how the tool works, and then we'll dive into some flop texture work and go through what it looks like in practical use. The reason I created this tool was because I wanted a way to help myself bin my pre-flop range through the flop, taking different lines based on value and bluff combos for each line. Check raising or raising, c-betting, calling or check calling, or sorry, checking or check calling, whatever, folding, check folding. And I want to show that you can do this with both your value hands and your bluff hands, and that you don't need to play trash like deuce 7 off or 5-2 offsuit to have balance, because you can remain incredibly inscrutable just by playing a well-constructed range, and your opponents won't know what you have. They won't be able to screw you at all. You'll be inscrutable. All right, so the way this works is by color coding. I'm going to take my range in a contrived scenario, and right now the scenario we have is 200 big blinds deep, middle position limps, we're the hero, we raise first in late position, and this is roughly my late position raise in gray. And then MP calls. And I want to change this thing right here. I just noticed. Boom. Oh, it's blue. Why is that blue? Stop being blue. Make it black. Okay. And then we do that again. And it's too dark. Man. See, already bug fixing. I need to change the weight on that. Okay, there we go. Perfect. All right. Now, we can also generate a flop. Click this button, and it runs a macro that does a flop, and it will give you a flop, and there you go. And no matter what you change in any of the fields, it won't change that flop until you click that button again. Now, interestingly enough, I can't deduplicate suits, so here's a good one. We'll stick with this one. If it said ace of diamonds, king of spades, I can't do that. I can't figure out how to deduplicate the diamonds. So just click the button again, give yourself a different flop. Don't make a big deal about it. You can live, it's fine. Okay, now the way this is driven is, like I said, by the colors. So anything you do for value is going to be a darker color. Anything you do for bluff is a lighter color. Let's go ahead and see this in action. Now this is the flop, this is the range that I'm bringing to this flop, all this stuff. Now what do I want to do here? Well, does this flop favor our range or not? This is pretty cool. I've programmed this so that it will give you incentives and hand selections for each bucket. In case you're not used to doing this exercise, it might help to have some guidance. I provided that guidance for you. Now I think this happens to favor our range. Now why do I say that? Well, let's look at all the topside equity here. We have all the sets of aces, and we have all the sets of kings, and we have ace king. Middle position would likely open raise with all those hands. Now I know in your player pool it may vary. You might say, well, why? I see a lot of people limping with ace king. Fine, those people suck. It's going to happen. But by and large, if you're playing with thinking players who are experienced, they're not going to just limp that stuff, or at least not often. You should be able to figure that out. So by and large, you're going to have some topside equity there. Now we actually have threes in our range, so we have bottom set. Would our middle position player limp with pocket threes? 200 big blinds deep? Possibly. They may be thinking, hey, stacks are deep enough, I could set mine, so they might play threes. You kind of need to know your player to make that determination. I'm going to go ahead and say that yes, they would play that. So we both share bottom set, but we have all the top twos, we have all the top set, we have all the middle set, we even have ace 3 suited, which really means we only have 2 combos of that, because we would only have ace 3 of spades or clubs, given that a diamond and a heart is on the flop. But still, would middle position limp with ace 3? Maybe, maybe not. So that's why I'm saying it favors our range. Now when I'm bucketing my hands, I like to think of the most aggressive action first. So what would I raise with here? I'm not going to check raise. Again, we're in position. But what would I raise with here? I'm never raising with aces, because with top set, what could our opponent possibly call us with? Not a lot. We would be forcing worse hands to fold. We don't want to do that. I'm going to put aces in the c-bet category. So I'm going to turn that to canary yellow. I don't know what the colors are. I don't have my Crayola box in front of me, but it's my video. What I say goes. If you think this is a different color, comment. Let's fight for it. All right. I do think we probably want to, we could do middle set and we could do bottom set. So let's go ahead and make those check raise and do the darker color because we are doing that for value. They're not bluff hands. All right. We also have, we have some hands here that, you know, I think our two pair, we probably want to c-bet with that. I mean, it's an ace and they're not going to think that we have, you know, they're not going to think that we have it. We could hide it pretty well. Now, funny thing here is we only have two combos of ace three that we could do. So I'm going to just select two of those, make those red. We'll go ahead and check raise those. All right, what else? Well, we got ace king suited. Do we want to check raise that? That's pretty strong. That's pretty strong. Do we want to just let's consider check raise? Okay, there's strong hands, not likely to get outdrawn, but this is kind of a static board. There's not a lot of backdoor flush draws. There's not a lot of straight draws available. I mean, if 2-5 comes up or 2-4, we'll probably slow down, but that's unlikely. So let's go ahead and say that. Let's go ahead and say we would do that. Again, that's only going to be two combos because the diamond and the spades are already out. Okay. Ace king offsuit. Well, yeah, we're going to do those. We're going to do those two pairs. Now, again, we can't do all of them. And I can't eliminate all combos. So I'm just going to approximate and say, well, given that the ace of diamonds and the king of spades are out, I'm just going to select three of them. I'm going to select three and say we're going to check raise those. Perfect. What else? Strong aces. All of our strong aces. I mean, why not? We should bet those. We should bet those. Good stuff. Well, hold on. Do we want to check raise or do we want to c-bet? It's a strong hand. If someone bets into us, I'd feel pretty confident c-betting ace queen. Again, we only have three combos of ace queen suited because a diamond is on the board. So yeah, we're gonna do that. What about ace jack? Do you think ace jack is strong enough to check raise or raise? I shouldn't say check raise. I should just say raise. Maybe. You know what? I'm going to put those in the c-bet category because I'm not sure that I feel comfortable getting stacks in with those. If push came to shove and we had to play for stacks, do I really want to? No, the other aces, yeah, I think we could c-bet those and they all have value. Now again, we can only do three of them because, oh, and the other ace three. Oh no, we only have two of ace three suited. Never mind. I fixed myself. We'll stop that. We're going to make those canary yellow because they have value and we're going to c-bet them. All right, is there anything that we want to check raise here? Let's go back to the check raise because I didn't do the bluffs. Is there anything we want to check raise here that we don't actually have value with? And right now I'm thinking queen jack. I'm thinking queen jack suited specifically because we have some backdoor flush draws and we have a straight draw. It's really the only high potential equity holding that we have on this particular flop. So I'm going to say if we have queen jack of spades, hearts, or diamonds, we're going to c-bet that. And I'm going to make this a rose color. I don't know why this was rose. Change that. Again, I don't know what the color is. Is it salmon? I don't know. It's Happy Cat Knows Pink. That's what that is. If you have like a white or a light colored cat and you give it scruffins and it starts purring, its nose gets pink, that's the color. This is Happy Cat Knows Pink right there. Okay, I think that's really it. The other one we're going to c-bet. We can c-bet that. And again, this is going to be not a value hand, so it's going to be, I don't know what that is. It's a yellow. Dandelion. It's going to be dandelion yellow. This is canary yellow. It's dandelion yellow. It's a flower. Gives you sneezes. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. I think that's it for the c-bets. I think that's all for the check raises, rather. I think that's it. Let's talk about c-bets now. What are we going to c-bet? I think we can c-bet all of our kings. I think we can do all of the kings that we have. So king, queen suited, we have 3 of those because clearly the king of spades is on the board. So that's a value hand. Okay. King jack suited, we can have 3 of those. Same thing with king 10 and king 9. I think king 9 is strong enough to go for it. I think we're fine there. We'll do that. Oh no, what about the ace queen offsuit? Yeah, I think we can do the strong aces too. I mean, they got value. Now again, we can't do all of them because the ace of diamonds is on the board, so we can't have all the offsuit combos, but we'll approximate and say, you know what, 75% of them, we got it. It's in the bag. Done. Same thing with the kings. And because the king of spades is out there, you know, we can't have that, so we're going to approximate. We're going to say that's good enough too. We're going to make that canary yellow. Perfect. Now queens, I think, let's go to the pocket pairs. Queens, jacks, 10s, 9s. How low could you go? This is like limbo here. It's like a limbo stick. How low can you go with the pocket pairs? Wow. Because this range so heavily favors us, I think we could probably barrel on this stuff. Now, I would probably say, do these have value? Are they? At what point does the low pocket pair become value versus bluff? Well, it clearly has some equity. I don't know if I'd say it's... If I were betting deuces, I'd say that's a bluff. We have bottom pair. We have bottommost pair. It's even below the board. I don't even think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to fold that out. I can't even be bothered. I can't be bothered with that. Okay, so that's got value. It's not really value. It kind of is. We're gonna turn that this color. We're just gonna say it's a value that we're gonna fold. Okay, fine. Let's go back to these pocket pairs that we were talking about. I think we can comfortably go down to 8s and say, you know what, I'm gonna c-bet that stuff. 7, 6, 5, 4. I don't even know if I want to say that has value. I'm gonna make that dandelion. That's what I'm gonna do. You might say it has value, but still, I mean, this is borderline here. This should not be colored in. Okay. What else do we want to see about here? We want to get worse hands to call. Okay, fine. Oh, you know what? What about our gut shots? What about like Queen Jack and Queen 10 and Jack 10? What about those? We could probably c-bet those. Yeah. Now we have all the combos of Queen Jack and all the combos of Queen 10 and all the combos of Jack 10. Well, don't move that. Just select it. That's all. Just select it. We have all the combos of Jack 10, like I said there, Queen 10. Now really these don't have value right now. These are all bluffs. So we're going to turn those dandelion. That's the color we're doing. Okay. What else we got here? Oh, for some reason the Queen Jack offsuit didn't get colored. We're going to color that in. All right, great. Now what? 10-9, 10 and off. Okay, so now we're getting to the check call category. Now we're getting into speculative stuff that I don't know how much you want to get bothered by it with. It's kind of like you got it or you don't at this point. I mean, we're continuing with the vast majority of our range. It's almost easier for me right now to see what I'm going to fold. Like 6-5, get out of there. 7-5, fired. You're fired. This isn't gonna work. It's not you, it's me. We can't make this work. 8-7. Like these looked really good pre-flop, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with this? I'm not betting this. And if MP bet, I'm not calling. I'm not gonna call with this stuff. I don't even think I can call with the 9-8. Now this is gonna be curious. It's gonna be interesting to see just how much I'm gonna fold out of this, because honestly, with a range that favors our range advantage, with a flop that favors our range advantage, we probably shouldn't be folding that much. But a lot of the stuff is just garbage. Okay. You know what we can do here? We can call with some backdoor equity. So I'm gonna label this stuff as we're gonna fold this out. They're not value hands. We're gonna fold it. So I'm gonna say this is cornflower, periwinkle. It's a little bit more gray than robin's egg, so don't go there. I'm not buying it. Let me know what you think these colors are. And by the way, if you are color challenged or colorblind, let me know in the comments what I could do to make this spreadsheet more 508 compliant. I'd like this to be a tool that everybody can use, and you shouldn't have to rely on colors really to bin your hands on a flop. So that's kind of an interesting technical challenge I have to face. All right, so let's go ahead and say that we want, okay, 10-9 offsuit. This is just, that's garbage. That is garbage. There's no redeeming qualities there. We're going to periwinkle that. That's out of here. But these things that actually they're suited, we might want to continue with them. Queen 9 suited, yeah, I could see us, check calling on that. It's pistachio. We're going to say that's pistachio color. It's not like a grass green. It's definitely not hunter green. Pistachio. And you know what? Too few things in this world are pistachio flavored. I would like to think that more things on this planet should taste like pistachio, and fewer things should taste like chicken. If they made some of the things that taste like chicken, that shouldn't taste like chicken, made those taste like pistachio, world peace. World peace. Two-state solution. The end of all problems on earth right there. That's what we have. So while I was pontificating on pistachio flavors, I went ahead and colored some other things pistachio. And then, okay, so we're gonna go ahead and check call the ones that we have a backdoor flush draw, and then for the ones that we don't, we're just gonna fold those. We're gonna get rid of those. Jack 8. See, this is where I think I draw the line. I think with these gappers right here, I think we just gotta let them go. It's like Elsa, frozen. Just let it go. But now these things, you know what? I'm going to change my mind here. I'm going to say because this has range advantage and the top part of our range can give some protection to the bottom part or middle part of our ranges, I'm going to go ahead and say let's check call. Do we want to check call or see bet? You know what? Suited connectors function better with more aggression. I'm not going to check call. I'm going to bet these. I'm going to bet these because this is going to put our opponent in a tougher spot. They're not going to know where we are. And again, the best compliment you can get is when someone can't screw you and they're like, "You're inscrutable. I don't know what you have." And you're like, "Thank you." That's how this game plays. And then we'll just fold the ones that we miss on. Okay. I think that's good. All right, now this is what happens here. If you want, one of the kind of hacks on this spreadsheet is that it doesn't automatically calculate formulas based on background color. So I need to force the recalculation of this worksheet, and I created a macro right here to do that. Now what the macro does is it inserts a column in column A and pushes everything to the right, which, because that changes all the values, then forces the recalculation. And then I delete that column because we don't need that extra column. It's just perfunctory. And then we blank out this checkbox, we reinitialize it, and then you get your combos. You'll be able to see what your number of value combos are, what your number of bluff combos are, what the total combos are, because that's just math, and then you'll be able to see how many of your combos you're carrying through aggressive actions. So I'm going to click this button here, and then I'm just going to pause it while it does its thing, and then we'll rejoin you shortly. Alright, that took about 40 seconds. If you can't afford to wait 40 seconds while the spreadsheet recalculates all your combos for you, what are you doing even studying poker? If you can't wait 40 seconds, don't bother me with that. Okay, so anyway, let's see what we have now. As expected, we are continuing a vast majority of the time. This is a flop that favors our range. We should be continuing in some fashion often, and we're doing it a little bit more than 82% of the time. Interestingly enough, we're doing it with about 166 combos of value and just shy of 100 bluff combos. Now this is interesting here. I think it's interesting that I'm check raising with only 3 bluff combos. It's only the ace-3 suited. And then we're actually doing 31 value combos. I tend to think this is a little bit out of whack. I might want to be bluffing to check raise with more. But if you look at what you're c-betting with, I mean, overall, this isn't bad. This isn't bad. We're doing 166 here and 96 here. That's not a bad ratio of bluffs to value. And then check call, we got like no value combos that we're check calling with, because we're c-betting them all. I mean, this range favors our advantage. We're pushing our advantage. I don't think we're hyper aggressing without reason. It just so happens that the way this flop is and the way that our range is constructed, there's not that much opportunity for the middle of our range to do some check calling here. I suppose maybe we could turn some of these bluffs into check calls. Maybe. I don't know. But still, we're only folding 13% of the time. So we're continuing to the turn 87% of the time. That's not bad. I think that's pretty decent. All right, so several weeks ago on the podcast, I mentioned I wanted to do videos like this once a day for 2 weeks. That was way too ambitious because it turns out video production's hard. It also turns out it took me a long time to make this spreadsheet, which interestingly enough is more valuable to me than Flopzilla Pro, because in Flopzilla Pro I can't do this bucketing exercise. I can do range on range work, and I can see where range advantage lies between me and my opponent on different flops, but I can't go into this level of fidelity as I can here. So this is doing a lot of value for me. I'm looking forward to using this in the upcoming days and weeks ahead. If I can put out a handful of these videos over 2 or 3 weeks, I'll consider that a success. Let me know if you found out this was helpful. Dell did challenge me to do this exercise in under 20 minutes, and right now we're at 23 minutes, and I gave a lot of exposition on how the spreadsheet works, kind of the sausage making, the behind the scenes action, the director's cut, if you will, not to be confused with a bris. So let me know if you thought this was helpful, if what you think the colors are, how I should label those, how I can make this more 508 compliant for those users who are color challenged. And I'm looking forward to this. I think this is really going to help up-level our games. And if you do find this helpful and you want a copy of it, DM me and please send me a donation or something, because it will encourage me to get more content out like this. So this is BJ Marshall with The Blinds Stealing the Blinds. And until next time, stick to the plan, and may all your variants be positive.